Yo, you're in the studio with on Switch, and today I thought it would be cool to go through my Star Wars set intro and talk you through the channels and arrangements. All of the parts of the video are in the member video samples folder. I have a couple of DJ sets coming up in May and thought it would be cool to create a Star Wars theme tune for my intro. I hope you find this insightful and helpful and enjoy playing with the parts. Just a side note, but the original Star Wars strings in the folder are not mine. I've cut up the original tune and pitched and tuned them for this tune. They are obviously copyright protected, so you mustn't use them in any official tunes, but the rest of the parts are played and created by me, so feel free to use the bass noises or drums or whatever. Much love and thanks for sticking with me. Let's get to the video. Okay, so I've launched Ableton and I've launched my Star Wars kind of bootleg DJ set sort of intro. I've got a couple of sets coming up for May. One of them is on May the 4th, so I thought it'd be quite a laugh just to have a cool intro for that. Just to celebrate May the 4th. I'm a massive Star Wars fan, as you can probably see, and not so well right now actually, to be fair, but I've got quite a few Star Wars bits about. Yeah, I'm a nerd. It's one of those. But so I figured I'd do this, and so I went onto YouTube. I grabbed the Death March Vader's theme, and I downloaded that off of YouTube very naughtily, obviously, and I then cut it up, timed it up, and pitched it a little bit in Ableton, and that's kind of my main theme for the tune. I thought it'd be cool. It's iconic, you know, and it's one of those, and it's gimmicky. And I also wanted it to be almost a bit grimy, so I kind of grabbed like just a really dirty 808, and that's like my fundamental bass. That's my main bass. But what I'll do is I'll give you a play. I very cheesily played in, I think it's the Luke Skywalker theme, which I'm not proud of, and the timing isn't the phrasing isn't quite right on it, but it kind of works and it kind of leads you in then, you know. So that's my intro. So I'll give you a play, and we'll run through some of the channels. So I have got my mastering chain on, so that's all running, so we should be quite loud on the mix here, and it should sound alright in theory. As you can hear, it's not quite right, but it's recognisable. Okay, so I've got the intro here. So basically, I've obviously started with a piano. So I've got here a upright piano, which is one of the packs from Ableton Live, the suite, and it's a very simple sort of pattern. Just exactly, I just played it. I sort of messed around for a couple of minutes and played it from here, and just sort of, it's in F now. I don't think the original was, but it's in F now, so that it works for me with my sets, or with this set anyway. So that's there's the piano, and you'll hear on its own. It's very boring, you know. You can hear the timings out. Do you know what I'm saying? It is quantized. I then added some strings in over top it, playing exactly the same thing, just in a different octave. Made some mistakes with the velocities by the sounds of things. I also added in another noise from Zebra, which I really love. Kind of gives that sci-fi sweetness to the background of that intro bit, you know. Very simple. And then I've added in this breath reverb, which is like a gas hit. Always reminded me of the Darth Vader sort of breath. Kind of had that sort of vibe on it, you know. So I added that in over the top because obviously that was going to work. I've obviously got I've got a stab here, so just like a brass sort of style stab. Sick, I love that stab, and that does kind of like a line and sort of highlights parts of the main riff. I've also then got a cymbal, and I think that's about it for that intro part, I think. Yeah, so there's no hats, there's no nothing else, you know, we just introduced the theme straight off. And then we bring in like this high pass sort of fill kit, just to step it up. And then we start to introduce this Darth Vader theme, you know, the original strings and everything that I've timed up. Keep those drums rolling. And they're layered here. So I've got this going on. And that's sort of just in the background. And then this one comes up over the top. Up on the filter. So I'll play that bit again just so you can hear it. Really buzzing about this tune, stupidly, but you know, it's pretty cool. The 808 is sick. And you can hear the 808. The 808 line is just following the melody. So my drums here is a kit I made in Operator, and I've added like a metal snare over the top, like a metal hit, sorry, over the top of the snare. So I'll solo those for you. They're really, really simple, but this is my main kit. So that was made in Operator. All the hits there were made in Operator, and then I double that with the intro kit. And it just adds just a little something in the background of it. And you can actually really hear now how these stabs are not even in there. Sorry, what I meant was this bass. You can really hear how it's sort of following this melody line. So sick. So some of those notes are probably too low, but it was just for the bottom end, you know, just to have that sort of rudeness in there as well, you know. So altogether, that's I'll just play it from just before the drop, but it's a pretty sick drop. Hear how that breath hit at the beginning there, and this one kind of like sort of gives you the vibe of the Darth Vader breath, you know. Super cool. So then we move on to the next section, which is this initial sort of static, where it just sort of sits and it kind of bubbles, which works so nice with the drums and everything else. I also now introduced the hat, so I'll give you a quick play of those drums on their own. Really, really simple. And you can hear it's just a super high-passed kit. It originally was my main kit, but then when I listened back to it, it seemed to be lacking something, so I just doubled it with this heavy Operator kit, you know. But altogether, this section sounds like this. And once again, sorry, the sub, I literally just try to copy the original line as much as possible. The Star Wars strings, you know. I just sat here for quite a while just trying to work out the patterns and that kind of stuff, you know. So anyway, this is how this section sounds. It's pretty cool. As you can see, I've added the strings in over the top just for this sort of these fills, and that works really lovely. So cool. it's just bubbling there, you know. We got this white noise riser, and then back to the original riff, but we've got the extended version of the riff now. Super cool. So the second part of the riff. So as you can see, the riff kind of goes over 3 lots. So this is the entire riff here. So it's 3 lots of 8, which kind of causes, or 3 lots of 16 or whatever. But anyway, it's 3 lots of phrase. Let's put it that way. 3 lots of 8. And basically so the problem is that you've got 3 lots of it. So you're off the cycle. You're off of your sort of 4 beats to a bar sort of style thing. So what I did, and what I thought was, okay, that could be really cool, because you've had all of the theme now. You've had all of the main parts, all of the string parts that you want to hear. I didn't want to add any more string parts to it in that sense, or any more sections from the tune. I just wanted it to be just like that, blatant, cool, done. So what I figured was now would be a good time to end this 4 with a breakdown. So as you can see there, that then is my 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks, you know, for the arrangement side of things, 4 blocks. So I know when I DJ this, when the second drop happens, I'm definitely at the beginning of a 4, which for me sort of really helps, or a 64 or whatever that is there. Do you know what I'm saying? But the riff then sort of the riff kind of works across then the amount of bars. So we're then coming to the second drop. But I'll play the breakdown quickly. And we're back to that original. So you can hear it just works, you know, it just works. It kind of, with that, the strings, that's kind of super cool, but it just kind of hovers on like the sort of F sort of style note, which is wicked. So we then bring in this main theme again on the low pass, and we've got the noise riser here. So we're now getting for the second drop, and for the second drop, I wanted it to drop different to the first drop. I wanted to introduce some bass noises so that it was a bit more of a like wow on the second drop, you know. So I did. I grabbed this. I was playing with the Crave the other day. Can you see that? Oh, you can see it. I was playing with the Crave the other day in and just making some noises and that kind of stuff. And I basically just exported a few bits, just recorded in a few sort of quite long sort of sections. And the other day I clicked on one and I was like, that actually sounds really good. And I was really surprised. And it had some kind of odd timings with this LFO sort of thing that was going on. So I was like, I put it in there. I literally duplicated the riff again. So here you go. You got this channel here, which is my Crave mod. And as you can see, Microfreak 808, I literally just copied the 808 sub onto this channel, and then made sure obviously that the pitches were right with regards for this noise, so that everything's, as you can see, playing on F. I think the 808 is in that made me jump. I think the 808 is C. There we go. So it's still an F, but I haven't put it on the correct pitch. Sick. So anyway, so this riff. So I've literally just duplicated the riff and just extended all the notes out so that they all were legato. They all meet each other. Super cool. So what I'll do is I'll just play it from just before the drop here, and we'll listen to the drop. Super cool. With those strings coming in, just works. You can hear that. You can really hear the layered stab there. So if I play that. And you can hear that's just doubling the it's just like highlighting those notes on the bass line at the moment, you know, and in that riff. The breath stayed the same, so that's playing exactly the same thing. Kind of with the high note and the low note, it kind of made me think of Darth Vader. There you go, I'll give you a play of that. So you got the high note coming in now, and then it kind of, in the background, it kind of gives you that vibe of Darth Vader's breath, you know, and everybody recognizes that, so it kind of works. For me, it kind of works. So yeah, so I drop all the strings here apart from this fill, and then we drop with this noise, you know, it's super cool. They just work, you know, and because we've just copied that riff again, it just kind of all flows. Okay, so I did add in here a ride, which was a ride I programmed years ago, and I literally just put it in here now. I've sidechained it really hard, as you can hear. But it was just to add some more sparkle in, and also just to give it a new section, you know. I mean, I haven't had the ride throughout the whole tune so far until this very section here, and the idea is just to pick up the pace a little bit, you know. It's just to give you some more sparkle in there, but also to pick up the pace, to sort of separate it out from the other sections. So I'll play it from this middle part here. Super cool. And the riff doesn't change for the bass there at all, it just repeats. Like I say, it was just like a VIP, just for a set intro, it's not a serious tune, you know. So then we get to the end of this where we've had it for 4 lots, and we then have the theme come back in on the string. And then what I do is, so I cut that early, and we then go back to the original sort of, I call it the Luke Skywalker theme, and the bass just follows the melody again, you know. So it just kind of highlights it and kind of makes it kind of a bit kind of cool. So let's play it from sort of halfway through here. We'll play the whole thing. So we stop the rides, sort of chill this sort of section out for a second, if you see what I'm saying. So it kind of breaks up that second drop, and then we come back in with super cool. Then we bring it back to the Luke Skywalker sort of style section for the outro. So we simplify the tune out. We sort of start to break it down in that sense. You kind of feel like the tune's coming to an end now. Outro. So we kept the drums on the high pass, kept the breath in there as well. Super cool. And there you go. So that was it. That was my Star Wars tribute for May the 4th. Tribute stroke bootleg stroke set intro. Definitely. Super cool. That's going to be member exclusive, so I'm not going to give the parts to anyone else. You guys have all got the parts. That'll be within the folders. So yeah, I hope you enjoy that. Have a play with the parts. Obviously, remember that the strings are all copyrighted. Everything is copyrighted, and not to me. This is, to Star Wars. So don't expect to sort of be able to release anything with any of those parts in it. You've got the bass noises there. They're all in the folder. The drums are all in the folder. So anything you've heard, anything you've seen there, it's all exported. The track's at 140 BPM, and that's about it, really. So yeah, big up. Thank you once again for being a part of this. I'm sorry that I've been quiet. I've built the new computer now, as you can see and hear. Everything's working really cool and really lovely. Everything seems to be responding much better, and yeah, it's much more fun, definitely. Much love, big up, and thank you once again. Peace.